24 million Americans have diabetes.
Served up a grande white mocha labeled diabetes, here I come.
But millions of others.
A promising new report on America's battle against diabetes. Nearly 15,000 children are expected to be diagnosed this year with type 1 diabetes.
Publicly thanked fellow television star, but in the process included a bizarre remark about diabetes.
We talk about diabetes. There's type 1, there's type 2. Which one is more damaging to the body? Are on the verge of a diabetes breakthrough. Let's start with what it is. What is diabetes?
It's become just a joke. It's become a substitute. It's kind of a hacky joke, Andy. I don't think it's a joke that people run out of it, suffer from the top.
No longer make insulin.
So one of the biggest challenges we run into is overcoming sugar.
That number is expected to increase to 592 million within 20 years.
Sorry, I forgot.
That's okay.
So,
Tell us where you're from. And
Okay.
then,
How long I've had diabetes.
Yeah.
Got it. My name is Perry Silverheart. I'm from West Hartford, Connecticut, and I've had diabetes for 19 years.
Or just elevate the whole thing rather than.
My name's Jesse Levine. What else is I supposed to say?
My name is Matt Swain. I've had diabetes for just over 11 years. I was diagnosed on my 15th birthday. The night before, I just remember thinking, like, can't eat cake ever again.
Like when I hear Australian accents outside of Australia, I think we sound rough as guts.
As the cyclists arrive in New York City, they meet the team for the very first time. Australia, the UK, New Zealand, Canada, and the United States are all represented on this team of 20 riders.
And we're all wearing Dexcom monitors, and so like someone's in the room will beep, and everyone like panics and looks at their meter to see if it's them.
We've all been communicating for, well, several months now, and so it was almost like we were family before we even arrived.
My name is Cassidy Robinson. I am originally from Southern California.
Everything is very fresh in my mind because I was only diagnosed 19 months ago. And at the time, one of the doctors in India said that I should forget playing sports for the rest of my life.
I've had type 1 diabetes since 1988, when I was about 5 years old.
My name is Megan Banks. I'm from Georgia, and I've had type 1 diabetes since 2005.
During the orientation, Walt lets the team know the dangers of letting your guard down while cycling in groups, a danger that is all too familiar.
Cycling cross-country is not the safest thing to do. There are lots of things that can happen unexpectedly, and add to that type 1. On my last cross-country bike ride, I was actually in a riding group that day where one of our riders was hit by a car, and she was actually killed. So I was, right there next to her, saw the whole thing play out. There wasn't a whole lot my riding group could do for her. We tried as best we could, but we lost her.
We're finding that a lot of people actually thought that this ride is something that could never happen. People in the type 1 space in particular really felt like a ride like this of type 1s riding across the country wasn't possible.
For somebody to say that I can't play sports was very, very, very hard. I mean, I probably cried for 48 hours when I came back from that doctor visit.
What would you say to that doctor who told you you can't play sports right now?
Meet me in San Francisco.
I honestly don't know if I can actually do it. There's definitely a part of me that thinks Day by day, yep, you can get on a bike and you can ride. Actually riding across a country is incredibly intimidating.
I've been really quite emotional since I arrived. Like I got off the aeroplane and just kind of cried. I think it's like a mixture of just overtiredness. I haven't really slept at all and just like scared.
She contacted Beyond Type 1 first and asked, I'm a minor, I want to do this. I think she said, but my mom's a cyclist and if I can get her to come with me, can I do it?
The team steps away for a much-needed break at Beyond Type 1 co-founder Sam Talbot's restaurant in Brooklyn.
You've done extraordinary things. You've trusted us. You've gotten on planes and trains and automobiles. You've come here to be a part of this exciting adventure.
What they're doing, giving up their time for 10 weeks to hit the road, leaving on Sunday and coming back, 10 weeks later.
That never even occurred to us that it wasn't possible.
You're a team leader.
I am.
Do you feel the weight of that responsibility?
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, that's kind of like my zone. I feel good there, so.
So I guess I'm riding for all the Type 1s out there, all the strangers, all the people I haven't met yet.
To physically feel like America under my feet, that was my goal, that was my intention, it was my every desire, and that changed so quickly. Once I started like talking to people about like how diabetes has affected their lives, the power in like continuing to push your legs comes from those people for me.
Just about to head out to the party and it's really scary and I'm frightened and everyone's so nice and that just makes it seem so silly, but I'm not really like a people person. Like I like people, but I don't really like lots of people all over, so a little bit scared for this, but I'm sure it will be great and I can't wait to go on the bike tomorrow because like that's just going to be such a release, just actually getting out on the bike, so can't wait for tomorrow. Yay!
With sponsors, friends, and family together, Beyond Type 1 hosts a party for the team on the last night before the ride.
We are so thrilled to have these riders here in New York. They've come from all over the world, and they came this week, and they started arriving, and they're here.
So this is kind of a miracle, and that we're all here together, and what these people around me are doing.
Just woke up, barely slept all night, but today is day one, so hopefully gonna be a good day. We've got a lot to do this morning. I'm a little bit of a nervous wreck.
It's day one. Excitement fills the air at Pier 4 in Brooklyn as family and friends gather to send the riders off on their 10-week journey. Without their support, this ride would be near impossible.
And let this just be the start of a great adventure for all of you. And have fun, be safe. We're gonna follow you on your daily blogs and your photos and your GoPros, and we're super excited.
Having my family give me words of how proud they are of me, it's a lot to handle, but I appreciate every moment and every word that they give me.
It's kind of getting tough to like get to know them because I know what could happen. Now I'm just trying to make sure that they get as much out of these first few days as they can.
The start of this cross-country ride is marked with a tire dipping ceremony. Each rider places their back tire in the Atlantic Ocean and begins an unthinkable trek that will not be completed until their front tire dips in the Pacific Ocean, nearly 4,200 miles away.
You know what, if I had to come up with one word, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable that I'm here with this group of people, and it's unbelievable that we're about to go on this journey of a lifetime.
I think that's what we need to change is like perception and views of what type 1 diabetes is and what it actually looks like.
My legs are screaming at me, let's go, I'm ready, I'm pumped up, and I have the energy right now, and I just want to get rolling.
I've had a tough year already, so if I can make it through these 10 weeks, I will be like a much stronger person.
It's been already an incredibly powerful experience to be around people who are living the same thing that I'm living.
I've been thinking about this ride, wanting it to happen since 2012, like after I got off of my first bike ride.
Knowing that my mom's with me the entire trip is actually like a huge comfort to me.
My challenge is type 1. I'm riding for those people to show them like you can. Like you can do it if you really want to.
We're really doing this for the whole community with people living with type 1 diabetes, raising awareness for it and giving people some sort of inspiration that they can live beyond.
To get off the island of Manhattan, we have to ride a ferry, and getting 20 people with 20 bikes on a ferry is going to be another big project. So even though we're only riding 30 miles, it's probably going to be a pretty crazy day logistically.
After an emotionally charged day 1, the reality of riding across America begins to set in.
The weather is pretty horrific. And we've come out to map the route, but we're thinking...
Yeah, we're still having routing issues, so we've been working on that up to 2 a.m. in the night.
I think there's some people who are, I guess, kind of realizing how hard it's going to be.
Nature is miserable. Like our entire pathway has looked like this.
It's raining pretty hard. It's pretty cold. We're just huddled under here.
So, like, diabetes-wise, I feel fine, but I am incredibly emotionally overwhelmed. That was terrifying. Nature is terrifying.
So we just got finished riding through 50,000 puddles. The bikes are not happy.
Just off of the trail here, turning onto the road, got about 18 or so miles to go, and this came out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, look at this. It is clearing up. You would not believe it a few minutes ago. It was wind like I've never seen.
Today was really fun. We got lost about 4 times.
And I don't know why there's a pin drop there, but that's the way we go.
We did a Peloton for a little bit. That was a disaster.
It is having us cross there.
So at this momentous occasion, we are crossing into the beautiful state of Delaware. Behold. Oh yeah.
The first week has been a little hectic. Logistics have been a little all over the place, but I think we're ironing out the kinks. I had my first successful day yesterday, finally getting to a location without something in the team going wrong and having to call the van.
This week, we're on just a straight trail. There's no turns, no, you just go straight until you hit Harper's Ferry today, in this case. So I'm hoping we can pick up some time that way.
Challenging keeping up with 19 kids, to be frank with you. You know, these guys, I'm old enough to be every one of their fathers.
We talked about one team, one family, and I think we are just hitting a few starting hurdles, and I don't think that should stop any of us, but a lot of us are a bit sleep deprived.
The first couple days, a lot of stopping in New York City, a lot of mud on the trails, covered in mud, and so to be able to just ride and progress and see that we're going through towns and we're doing what we came out to do, I think that was just a great feeling for everyone.
It's going great, but today was really tough. A lot of hills, and it was really hot. It was really long.
Mel, Megan, and my longest ride yet.
Ever?
Yeah,
In life.
ever.
The stress kind of like is starting to wear people down.
Difficult weather, route confusion, and unexpected terrain has taken a toll on the riders. The team's anxiety level is high. Unbeknownst to the team, Helen has asked Beyond Type 1 to return home to New Zealand.
Ever since day one, I started to worry it was too much. I didn't want to stop doing it because I'd got myself prepared, I'd raised money, I'd done so much training, and I want to complete it. And then I just don't know what to do. I don't know whether I can keep going or it's going to end up being bad, like for me. But I'm just worried that I'm going to be making myself kind of anxious if I do keep going. And I'm worried if I stop, I might let people down.
Another conflict begins to surface as team members have difficulties riding with Kevin.
Day 2 was demoralizing, I think, for the entire team. Day 3 was a huge boost for us. Like, we all bounded together, and it's really hard to get in Kevin's head to figure out what he's thinking right now. So that emotional connection is just it's missing right there.
Something to do with his knee, he can't bend it a certain way, so he has to ride that specific way, and it makes him slower. There's no real way around it, which makes the group that even slower.
Well, I think I'd mentioned to you that I had a new knee installed 16 months ago due to a hit-and-run driver hitting me on a bicycle, and so it's still definitely not back to where it was prior to the injury. Something that I knew would be a challenge coming into this, and it certainly has proved to be that way.
I think all of us have automatically come together, and it's still an effort to get something out of him, communication-wise, but it's not the communication piece that worries me the most, it's my team's health and safety.
It's going to be a grind, we knew, everybody on this team, that this would be a grind, I'm quite certain. And they knew it was going to be a challenge, and I'm pretty sure that's why we all signed up for it.
Despite the challenges, the team makes it to DC and takes a moment to celebrate and breathe in the small victories.
When we're all standing there, with our bikes up over our head facing the Washington Monument, and people start cheering, and it was just this is it.
Everyone savors this moment at the Washington Monument. Everyone but Mel. Upon reaching DC, Mel's blood glucose levels drop to dangerously low levels. She must wait for her blood to level out before she can ride with the team to the hotel.
It had been my longest ride ever, and it's been a really hard week. I feel like I haven't spoken to my family or anything like that. I just kind of feel like it would be really nice to have someone who already knows me telling me that I can do this. Yesterday we spent 12 hours on the bike and being on the wrong side of the road, and I think I was overwhelmed by the end. So I think when we finally got to the monument and then my sugar crashed, that was the end. I was just completely wrecked. But feeling a lot better today actually, though you can't tell. So I just think I really just want to talk to my sister and my family.
Long day, but it feels amazing to be here now. Super exciting.
My arms hurt as much as my legs do now.
Right after everyone was cheering, this woman walked up to us and just said she was a type 1 also, and thanked us for doing this. So I had goosebumps the whole time.
It is an emotional end to an overwhelming week. 2 days later, Helen agrees to stay with the team and press on, one day at a time.
Hello, Cleveland! We are super excited to be here, and I'm gonna have them introduce themselves.
I was super physically prepared for this, but I had no idea how mentally exhausting it would be.
One of the most exciting byproducts, really, of this ride is seeing and hearing from families along the road. It's showing them that their kids will grow up and be able to do these things, that it is possible.
After the team addresses the crowd in Cleveland, they spend the evening with the Kandersky and Dooley families. 6-year-olds Max, Mia, and Isabella Dooley are triplets. Isabella is the only one in the family living with type 1 diabetes. Somewhat celebrities in the type 1 community, the Dooleys mentor families who are coping with new diagnoses and help spread awareness as to what type 1 really is. As the day comes to a close, a mandatory team meeting is called back at the hotel. Kevin Moore has left the team.
As you know, this afternoon, Tom and I met with Kevin around 3 o'clock, and we shared with him that we were having some deep concerns around his physical health and well-being that were stemming from, sort of the physical aspect and challenge of this ride, which a lot of you are facing, and understand. So we really approached it very straightforward and said, this is a tough conversation. I'm sorry we're gonna have to have it. But we really feel like it's in your best interest to leave the team. He's got in the car and put his glasses on and blew us kisses and drove away. And he was teary, but he chose to get into the car and go, and texted Tom from the airport probably 20 minutes later and said, this is hard, but this is really the right decision.
This is just a great way to show the world that we can do it. And I think, yes, there will be many more challenges, but hey, we got through it and endured and overcame, and so that will be the mission moving forward, is to overcome.
How do we make sure that all that love and support he has felt for months leading up to this doesn't suddenly disappear? Because that is, that's something that's been feeding his soul, and I know you all feel that a lot, and even tonight with these wonderful families telling you what your journey is meaning to them and to their children and themselves.
I've talked to a couple of you about this, but I am going to try to put a card together for him, so just because I've enjoyed my conversations with him immensely. He's just such an interesting guy. And I just want him to know that he's loved.
He's not a quitter, and he's not a failure, and he's not a quitter, and of course he's none of these things. I mean, he took a risk, he gave it a try, he put his life on hold, as all of you did. He just had some added challenges there.
Kevin isn't the only one feeling the effects of cycling for nearly 2 weeks straight. Walt has a panic attack in the middle of rush hour traffic, bringing back the tragedy and isolation of his previous ride.
Yesterday, as we were riding into Cleveland, it started getting a little bit more trafficked. It's like the rush hour, I think, just kind of hit, and then I started having what I'm assuming is a panic attack. I've never kind of been diagnosed with anything. So I was still on the bike. I was just trying to get to the hotel. I didn't want to have to deal with it like on the side of the road. At first, I started crying. Started having a little trouble breathing, but I kept on going. And then eventually we just got to the hotel, and that's kind of when I let it go. Having been like the only type 1 on my last ride and the only person that was kind of dealing with like my certain experience of what happened to my teammates on the last ride, it's very much a role that I'm okay with taking, just because I don't want to put that on anybody else. This was like the one ride I didn't want to feel like the outcast. And I kind of feel like I'm putting myself in that situation again.
Relief would come for the entire team, ironically, back on the bikes, where they can push through their emotions and thoughts. The bike trails and countryside scenery welcome them as they head toward Nashville, nearly 600 miles away. The hills of Tennessee meet the team head-on leaving a mark of sore legs and emotional and physical fatigue.
We had a really great ride day yesterday. The last 30 minutes to an hour of our ride was terrible and a complete breakdown. And then when I walked into the hotel, we were about to start checking in, and I turned the corner in the hotel and my mom was standing there. And I just lost it. It was Niagara Falls down my face.
Oh, hi, my girl.
I think it was the world's best moment. I've never been surprised like that. What my dad wanted for Father's Day was to see me. It was unbelievable.
Happy Father's Day. Mom said, "What do you want for Father's Day?" I got my wish.
Cassidy's father rode across the U.S. on a bike in 1977 with 4 of his friends. It's the reason she's riding today.
I think he's surprised, and I think he's really proud of how well I'm doing as a cyclist right now. I feel really strong on my bike. I feel really comfortable on my bike. That comes directly from your training and your heart, your soul. I couldn't be more fortunate to be able to say that.
Live at the listening room, people within the Type 1 community have come from all over North America to take in this moment.
I'm Eric Gunderson. This is my bandmate, best friend, Stephen Lyles. Like she said, I've had diabetes for 21 years and found out about Beyond Type 1, and Eric asked us to be a part of this event tonight, so we're thrilled that we can be here.
Fellow Type 1 diabetic right here.
I was diagnosed when I was 6 years old, and so I don't want to tell you how long I've had Type 1, but it's been a long time.
It's one thing to hear about it, to see the website. Oh yeah, they're riding from New York to San Francisco, but meeting them, it gives me hope. It inspires me.
Thank y'all for showing the world and showing Type 1 diabetics that you literally can do anything you want to. These two over here, they came from Charlotte. They drove 6 hours. We had a family of 3 that I knew back in Edmonton. They flew down to be here at this event. It's amazing to see a community rally around this.
To experience this as part of Team Bike Beyond was probably one of the most happiest moments on this trip for me so far.
This night in Nashville will never be forgotten. But there is no room for reflection. With the dawn of a new day comes their first 100-mile riding day, and the team is going on less than 4 hours of sleep. Routine is second nature to them, with many team members starting preparations for the ride at 5 a.m. The Rocky Mountains and their extreme elevation won't come for another 4 weeks, but the hills of this 100-mile day fiercely tests each rider. St. Louis holds the near halfway point for the team. Long days and even shorter nights give way to inescapable tension.
People's exhaustion levels are getting higher and higher when that takes place, and temper's a little bit quicker. People are easy to cry, people are easy to get emotional, and you can definitely see it. Like some people are keeping cool, and then next minute they're crying or angry.
Though the elevation is fairly mild, this is the lowest they've been emotionally.
I think you take 20 type 1 diabetics who want to do this, you've got 20 really independent thinkers, and they've got strong opinions. The problem is they don't have the experience to back it up.
You know, some people are starting to really struggle, and we're not quite halfway yet.
Still definitely probably half the team that's pulling their weight.
People's like true feelings are starting to come out. People are really tired. I don't think people realize just like how drained you were gonna feel. Like I think people are like, yeah, cycling across America is hard, but they weren't really thinking about the off the bike stuff and how hard that was gonna be.
Dude, these aren't like, this isn't a kids camp. This is people who have like put their careers on hold or to some degree on hold. And they're adults, they can make their own decision. They came to bike across America.
We're all exhausted, and it's definitely making us snappier and less tolerant.
If I was to go back in time, I wouldn't have done this because the team is pretty brutal.
Yeah, I definitely saw some people getting pretty emotional at water stops along the way. Definitely some tears flowing.
Hopefully we can come together through that. It'll either make us or break us, and hopefully it makes us.
We had to ride through some gravel and mud yesterday, and I could have thrown my bike. Like, it was just the last thing I needed given how tired we are.
It's okay.
The map described it as a road. I would describe it as a road.
Americana scenery seems like an ideal setting, but in reality, it is an unwelcome experience.
Well, oh shoot, I'm low. I have a gel open. I'll just suck on it.
It was very muddy, it was bumpy, there was a lot of gravel spots, which is just slow and really just hard on your body and exhausting. Your hands go numb, then you feel like you have to slow down even more because you can't control your bike. It just makes 70 miles feel like 170 miles. It makes everything hard.
I just hit that log.
Are you okay? One of the worst days I've ever had on the bike. I was in tears by about 30 miles in.
Check it out. All up in here, there's like a little bit of mud in there. I'm gonna have to get it out by riding. And then all up in here is just caked. Just a whole muffin just stuffed in there of mud. A whole muffin of mud.
Over the last 4 days maybe, I would say, I've woken up twice in the middle of the night with really low blood sugars that I didn't feel, which is very not normal for me. I'm usually very aware of my sugars, and before I even get really low, I usually wake up in the nighttime, and this time I only because I tested or because my Dexcom went off that I knew I was low.
Each rider carries a glucometer and must check their blood multiple times a day. These checks are relentless, but necessary. Stops for a low blood sugar can happen nearly 10 times a day.
There's never any pressure, if you're like, guys, I'm low, I have to stop. There's no eye rolling, there's no comments, there's nothing, there's no negative anything around it. Everybody is super supportive. Just personally, I still feel awful. I still don't want to be that person holding up the group, even though over these 10 weeks, we're all going to be that person.
The strenuous activity on their bodies can mask their symptoms, so they may not even feel a low. Anything below 70 is considered low, and below 60 is dangerous.
34. That's even worse than my Dexcom says.
Blood sugar's dropping.
My blood sugar's pretty stable right now.
My blood sugar's dropping.
I just ate a bunch of honey stingers to protect that low, and now I'm going way too high because I overate. I just kept snacking. It's our first 100-mile day, so that is a little overwhelming. Look at the horses behind me. We are at our second water stop.
Low levels are not the only danger the team finds themselves in. Every time they get back on the bike, a new challenge awaits them.
I took a pretty big spill today, and so I'm here at Bikes and More. They're helping me fix it up, so check it out. It's pretty awesome.
Just got a call from the team. We know Helen has had an emergency low blood sugar. She was at lunch, had finished her ride for the day, and suddenly just felt really terrible, lost consciousness, and started having a seizure. The team administered her emergency glucagon, called the paramedics, and actually by the time the paramedics got there, she was okay. So Helen's doing all right now, but the team is pretty shaken up watching, you know, a teammate go through one of their biggest fears, which is an emergency low blood sugar on this ride. We're calling in support from an endocrinologist and psychiatric perspective because the mental health of the group and the physical health of the group moving forward is really, really important.
And just when the team makes it through one crash, more trouble follows.
So we were just trying to make a left turn and the driver did not understand the bike hand signals, so they tried to pass us right when Megan and I were trying to turn left, and we thought they saw us and they didn't. They almost hit us, but they stopped before they did, but we crashed into each other. I landed on my shoulder and my knee. And what did you hurt, Megan?
My wrists. But the van's here to rescue us, so it's all good.
The mental and physical battles persist, and another is coming for Amanda when she least expects it.
Just discussing our plan. We've got Amanda, our teammate, who has an old injury. She's concerned has come up again. She's having trouble breathing. When she takes a breath, she coughs, and it's happened for a good while now. So she's concerned. We're wanting to check her out, take her to the hospital.
I think seeing her bike, she hasn't been a normal self either. So I'm not surprised that she's having that. But in our team, safety first. It's a case of putting Amanda first and her health first. She can always do more miles tomorrow.
Amanda begins to cough uncontrollably, resulting in shallow breathing. Cheryl, a licensed RN, takes her to the nearest emergency room. For Amanda, painful memories surface. 7 years ago, Amanda was in an auto accident that left her with a collapsed lung and most of her legs and ankles replaced with titanium. It is a miracle that she's even on a bike. After breathing treatments, Amanda recovers. Doctors advise her to stay off the bike until she can breathe fully again.
Cheryl was so helpful in navigating all of the doctor terminology. Paresthesias. That means that everything was tingly. My face and hands were tingly because I was having difficulty breathing.
So we are in Kansas, and I'm on lunchman duty, and someone decided that today was going to be Wizard of Oz Day. We have some really exciting chalk to welcome them to the water stop, and then we have the Wizard of Oz soundtrack playing. Follow the yellow brick road.
We're at the world's largest ball of twine, in the middle of Kansas, for a water stop. Jordan, how's your ride today? And then she took my hand, and I was like, yeah.
Can you get a little closer?
Okay, here. What's up?
Use it like a mirror. I think you missed a spot.
I think I'm trying to rub it in. Yeah, okay, here we go. It's not really working.
Fierce winds and rising heat make riding conditions even more complicated. The long plains of Kansas may be modest, but they are not timid.
Hey, Team Bike Beyond, what's your blood sugar right now?
6.2.
Sid, what's your blood sugar?
6.2.
Megan, what's your blood sugar?
145.
Elliot, what's your blood sugar? Abby?
117.
Okay, Dana?
165.
Ryan?
37.
Matt?
9.3.
Amanda?
57.
Okay, what does that mean? Why are you eating this right now?
Because my blood sugar is low. It's really low, so this is gonna help get it back.
Perry, what's your blood sugar?
191.
Sylvie?
I am the unicorn of Canada. I'm 5.5.
Canada, yes. Wait, you guys have the same blood sugar?
Yeah.
Wait, they both are 9.2. That's it. Never happens, ever. Okay.
For right now.
Okay, Mel, what's your blood sugar?
5.3.
Jordan?
237.
We're pretty lucky as a team to have Dexcom. So, do you ever Dexcom in too?
My Dexcom here, so you don't need to finger prick. You calibrate this twice a day, and it shows you at any given point not just what the value is, but also is it going up or down.
Abby, can I ask what type 1 diabetes is?
It can happen to anyone at any age, and it's where your body has an erroneous gene, so basically a bad gene, so you can't make insulin anymore. So we are insulin dependent and need insulin outside of our bodies to be able to live and function every day.
Blood sugars are the most important value that you can have as a type 1 because it gives you information on what you need to do, whether you need to eat sugar or not eat sugar or take insulin.
So we, as type 1 diabetics, have to inject insulin, either inject or use an insulin pump.
What kind of pump do you have?
I have a MiniMed pump.
Can you explain how this thing works?
Yeah, so it has what's called a reservoir that has about 3 days worth of insulin in here. And it connects to my body through this tube. Every 8 grams of carb that I eat, I take 1 unit of insulin.
Yeah, so there's a lot of mental math going. Can you explain how this pen thing works?
This pen allows me, like, if you can see this little dial right here, I can give myself like half a unit of insulin. Even though we all have type 1 diabetes, it's all like a little bit different for each person.
I picked Animas because I do triathlon, and it's 100% waterproof, so I can race with my pump on.
So you keep your pump on the whole triathlon?
Yep.
Wow, where do you put it?
Usually in my bra.
Okay. Nice, brah.
I wear my Omnipod. So this is my whole pump, basically. So I fill up this pod with insulin, and it has a little cannula that still goes in my skin.
Insert it into your skin, the needle juts back, and the cannula stays there. Okay?
Sierra has one.
Yeah, so Sierra over here has one. Keep going.
I can barely see it with my eyes. But it's like basically like hollow fishing line, and the needle will put it under my skin, and the needle will come out, just like you said.
Uh-huh.
And then the like hollow fishing line, like little tube, will let me receive insulin. And the needle's out.
Right here, we've got the infusion set.
I had to fill the whole tubing up with insulin so that when I start giving insulin, it won't start pumping air into me.
I'm gonna test my blood sugar again just because I've been asking everyone what theirs is. I just try and check a lot. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Okay, so now I'm 166. Because of that, I'm going to give myself a shot of insulin. There's a little needle in there you put on here, and then you screw it on, and then it's out. And we literally do this all day, every day. There are no breaks. You do it in the night, you do it in the morning, you do it when you wake up, you do it when you take naps. Without this, we would not be here.
Good days on the bike aren't the only thing sustaining the team. Mostly it's the people they meet off the bike. One person the team stops to visit along the way is Lila Hines.
I'm Lila, and I am in 4th grade. I'm 9. I'm turning 10 in November.
Lila immediately becomes part of the team and appears as if she's known them her entire life.
She was diagnosed April 15th of 2015. So it's been about almost 2.5 years. Wasn't feeling good, drinking lots of water.
I drink a glass that's like that big and then ask for more.
We were very humbled and honored to have been a part of the journey.
I think we got up like 5 and we made breakfast for all the bike riders.
Ordinary 9-year-olds don't get up this early to serve breakfast to 20 people, but Lila is extraordinary.
To wake up on her own at 5 a.m. was a pretty big deal. No complaints either. Normally it's like, ah. Today it was like, okay, Mom. I feel like it's a really inspirational thing for her. I think from day one, I've always wanted to just make sure that she knew she could do anything she wanted and that this wasn't gonna stop anything. It just might slow it down a little bit. So I started Insta-stalking everybody and following you guys on this journey. And in turn, I was doing it for her. And in the end, I feel like I gained a lot out of it.
The team prepares for the ride and gathers their things, fueled not just by Lila's breakfast, but also by her story. Every community along the ride has moments like this one. Families affected by Type 1, eagerly watching to catch a glimpse of their heroes riding through their hometown.
All right, you're on, Peps.
Welcome to colorful Colorado! Woohoo!
The team rides out of Denver, Colorado. Everyone is thinking it, but no one is saying it. The next 5 days of riding are through the Rocky Mountains. Over the next 3 days, the team will climb up mountains totaling over 22,000 feet of elevation. These mountains are beautiful, but they are not forgiving.
This is the hottest climb I've ever done.
I'm climbing the Rocky Mountains on a bicycle right now as you speak.
Like 10 out of 10 scared.
Look at that!
This will test the team more than any other part of the trip. But this is why they came, to see if they have what it takes.
This is the last bit, I think. It's crazy hard.
We just climbed up almost like a mile and a bit to the top of the pass.
Got to be the best day of the trip. I love Colorado, I love these people. Craziest thing, when I was diagnosed at 17, 16 years ago, I was told I couldn't go on my bike trip a week later. And we just biked to the Rockies and then climbed this mountain from New York City. So we could do anything. And it is the sickest feeling ever. How are you feeling? So good.
Really just hoping that I have enough energy when we get to the top to hold my bike over my head. Because otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah! So Abby, what would you like to tell any 18-year-old boy or girl who's dreaming about doing something like this, alone or with their parents?
Do it!
I want some stuff!
The record is about 34 minutes. Abby and I are going to try and get her done in 30.
Yeah, because that
Seems reasonable.
Check what's in front of us! Woo! These two people are just unbelievable.
We all have type 1 diabetes, and we're here right now.
We are almost to the top, and it's so beautiful.
We made it to the top of the summit!
Yes. And so that's McClure Pass summit, elevation of 8,755 feet. What can I say? 20 months ago, I was nearly passed out in my house, couldn't walk, didn't know what was wrong with me, and I thought I was gonna die. And it seems only yesterday, and those emotions are very raw. And to be able to do something like this is totally incredible. And to not do this just on your own, but with 18 or 19 other people is the best thing ever in this lifetime. This is hard, so is type 1 diabetes. And I think like type 1 diabetes is relentless and ruthless, I think so is this team. I'm a bit emotional, and it is hard. Every day of training in England with the rain, with the wind, with all the people who have supported me. Now we have 20 days to get to San Francisco.
The Rockies provide the backdrop for an inspiring team lunch as Megan opens up to the team. She has a secret that she's been holding on to. Her friend, Marquise, recently passed away from type 1 diabetes.
Marquise was my closest friend with type 1. When he died, I didn't want to be alive anymore. I didn't want to have diabetes anymore. I didn't want to think about it. I spent a lot of time in my bed, not able to move. My blood sugar would go low, and I didn't want to do anything. I considered many times not coming here because I could barely function as a normal human being at all. Nevertheless, ride my freaking bike across the country. The first few weeks of this trip were really hard for me. There was one day, I don't remember when it was, but nothing was different about the day. We were just riding our bikes and the cars weren't going closer to us. The road wasn't more scary than it normally was. But for some reason, I was completely terrified every time a car passed. I realized it's because now I want to be alive. So, thank you guys. I really think you saved my life.
All the adversities these riders have faced is now bringing out their best as a team on and off the road. And it couldn't have come at a better time. They need to have each other's back because the desert plains are looming ahead. The routine is second nature. Pack up tents from the night before. Load the trailer van with gear and replacement bike parts. Sunscreen and caffeine. Repair the bike and test the tires. Say goodbye to their hosts and sponsors from the previous evening. Review route details. split into riding groups, and hit the road. Every day for 70 days. The riding conditions in southern Utah couldn't get much worse. In July, the average temperature in the desert plains is 99 degrees. Today, it has topped out at 101. Before the first day of this cross-country ride, team leader Sid ran multiple worst-case scenarios to identify where there was potential for failure. In each computer simulation, his analysis came back the same. Failure to keep insulin cool would be catastrophic for the entire team. Each rider must carry their own supplies and cooling system so that all the insulin isn't in one location at the same time.
I just ripped my Dexcom right off. We tried putting some tape on it, but the receiver started beeping, and there was no communication. So I took it off. I don't think we have a spare sensor in this van.
The harsh reality of this stunning environment sets in. Even the bikes are showing signs of wear from the wind, heat, and searing sun. Diabetes or not, Moab concedes to no one.
My mindset started changing probably when my father passed away. When I was younger, I was graduated high school and was like, okay, next step is university, and then I need to meet a man and get married and have kids and get a 9-to-5 job and then just live out my days with my 2 weeks vacation and whatever. And then my dad died, and I just sort of look back. Probably again, we never talked. It wasn't something my dad and I ever talked about, but I know that he had a lot of regrets. I guess it just it solidifies for me that what I'm doing is big. It's big and it's bigger than me.
We were gonna stop at mile 40, but we're at 38.7, and we stopped here because there's a beautiful tree here, and we haven't seen a tree in a really long time.
It's exhausting. These things go on, can really take a toll on the body and the mind.
We're back on the bike. It sucks. Oh, I don't want to be on this stupid bike right now.
We don't get a lot of rest on this ride. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but it's a lot less rest than I ever thought I was going to get.
I have to put the brave face on for the team because they are all looking up to me and saying, hey, Sid's strong, so let's keep rolling. The message we are giving to the world is type 1 diabetes will not stop us from doing anything. I don't care if you've got type 1 diabetes or not, living out of a duffel bag, changing locations every day, not knowing what food you're going to get, what toilets you're going to be going to, what people you're going to be meeting, that can be emotionally draining for anybody on this planet. And the whole concept I've been talking about from day one of one team, one family, I think we are progressing to that one family stage. We are still soldiering through every single day, and we are stronger together as a team and a community than we are as individuals.
One of the really cool parts of this journey is
how many amazing diabetics and parents of diabetics that we're meeting along the way. I feel really honoured to be able to do this, but I'm definitely doing it to prove it to myself that I can do it.
The diabetes has just sort of been like it always is for me. It's just like that annoying shadow that follows me around, and I just figure it out, make it work.
Diabetes isn't holding me back right now. Like, I am like here because of my diabetes, and I am living beyond. Living beyond is addicting, so if you do it, warning, because you might not be able to stop.
I had to stop going on a bike trip that I wanted to go on when I was 17. I think this reaffirms that there should never be limitations placed on people.
So it's just me and Megan in a group today. So we're Team BFF, and it's the best day ever. Yeah, it's been a really good day. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Every day I think, I can't possibly do this. There's too many hills, there's too much climbing, and every day we finish it.
Yeah! Our last time zone!
Cassie, what are you cleaning your shoes with right now?
This is a nice piece of wood that we conveniently found lying in the middle of this dirt track.
It was right here.
Matt, how's the ride going?
Ride's really hot, but we only have 17 miles left, so...
Out of how many?
110.
Highway 50 in Nevada is called the loneliest road in America, with good reason.
Here we go, we got the other group rolling in right now. Woo! Yeah! Okay, spirits are super high this morning. Look at this. Look at the gravel is very soft. And I have you on camera if you wipe out, so do it.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, you guys look great! It is happening!
My blood is 110. Okay, I don't know if you can see right here. It's 110. I just got a new dent on my Dexcom because I was checking my blood while I was riding at 20 miles an hour, and I dropped my Dexcom while putting it back. It fell all the way down my leg, down my foot, and then in the middle of the loneliest road in America, and I said, ah!
Okay, Abby, why are we Team Camp Counselor?
Because we dress like camp counselors every day.
I don't know what she's talking about.
3 times a day, the van stops to set up lunch and water stops for the team. Low glucose food and snacks are prepped for every team member.
We got ginger snap. We got strawberry kiwi gels. You just put that in, get your sugar straight up. Jerky. We got some Doritos. We got some UCAN bars. We got some coffee bars. These are the team favorite right now. We got a gluten-free box for Perry and Helen. Here we got some hot dogs. We got some salsa. We got a bunch of stuff. We got some like coffee. Good. Good? Good.
It's important to keep team energy up and encourage them as they ride across desolate roads in Nevada.
Hey, GoPro. Today, Sid and I right here have a date to climb this mountain in South Lake Tahoe. I'm bottling up that light there, supernatural. Let them go. All the ones trying to get in the door. I'ma go where they all couldn't go. Come on!
Ridiculous!
What? We can get higher. There's levels to your love. Yeah, there's levels.
Hey, guess what? We're going to California today! Ricky, how do you feel about going to California? Matt, how do you feel about going to California?
I'm super excited to summit the Sierras that I was named after today.
Today's ride is like super exciting for me because we're going to California, so I get to go home. Made it to the top of Echo Summit out of South Lake Tahoe, and it was really scary. Yeah! Woo!
Where are we going? San Francisco. How are we gonna get there?
Gradually!
What? You didn't shave all your face? Nope, didn't.
Okay, we're 67 days into the trip, and I just got my first flat of the whole thing.
Van duty isn't all work and no play, though, because you never know who's going to show up for a dance break.
Woo!
Nailed it. Wow,
thanks, man.
Nailed it.
Entering into California, the team crosses their 19th and final state line. Four time zone changes, well over 100 flat tires repaired. All told, they've checked their blood glucose level over 5,600 times. But on Highway 50, Ryan has a horrible crash.
Ryan got in a bike crash 4 days ago when we were getting into Tahoe and destroyed his bike. So we were trying to fix it in Sacramento, and it's so screwed up that they couldn't fix it. And so now everyone's been panicking, trying to get him a bike to ride into San Francisco. But today's also really exciting because we are riding into Napa and we're getting a police escort.
I remember I was going nearly 40 miles an hour down the other side of the hill when I hit a patch of gravel and my rear tire started wobbling. Crashed into the guardrail. There's this gaping hole in my chin that needed stitches. It's a painful reminder for me that there are limitations, like very physical limitations that I can't exceed. It's just changed the way that I look at everything. Every day after that crash, I think of as a gift.
Brian.
Yeah. Come here.
Hey Ryan.
We have a surprise for you.
Yeah, buddy. I don't know if this is as good as your other one, but I want to give you this to finish out the rest of your trip. So. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no problem. We heard you had a little bit of an accident.
I mean, I'm still a little banged up, but I mean, I can ride.
How excited are you to ride the police escort?
Oh, I'm pretty excited, yeah.
With a new set of wheels, Ryan and the team ride into Napa wine country with a police escort. For the first time on their ride, traffic stops for them. A loyal advocate for type 1 diabetes, Congressman Mike Thompson rides alongside them into town. The team gathers that evening at the Honig Winery. It's a celebration.
Hi, Dr. Pepper. I'm 18 years old and I was diagnosed when I was 13, so I've had it for 4.5 years.
This specific ride personally means a lot to me just because it's a very extreme experience in feeling normal for the first time. Before I said, I've had my type 1 for 17 years now, and I'm 68 days into feeling normal for the first time out of those 17 years.
And the excitement continues as each rider receives an unexpected gift.
The riders, they've been on these amazing bikes for 68 days now. They trained on these bikes, and Specialized provided these state-of-the-art bikes, and they're these tremendous and really, really expensive bikes. And tonight, the founder and CEO of No Foods heard their story. And Steve from No Foods has decided to buy the bikes for all of the riders.
Spending the day with Beyond Type 1 co-founders Juliette de Bobigny, Nick Jonas, and Sarah Lucas gives the team a new perspective on their ride and the impact that is soon to follow.
What you're going to see after this journey's done, which you've already seen, is the impact it'll have on the world. And that starts on a small scale to the biggest scale. You've done something truly incredible, something I think a lot of people would say was impossible, and you've inspired a lot of people, including myself. So thank you for that. And I think I say on behalf of all the Beyond Type 1 team, we're really grateful to all of you.
Something I'd never thought of is that one family is not just us 19s, it's the kids that we've met, their families. So that one family has become a type 1 diabetic family.
Share with us the people across the country that are part of our world and who we hold close.
There's a family getting into, I think, a minivan, and they saw the little sticker that said Type 1 on our van, and they came over and they were like, oh my gosh, you guys just climbed that mountain. We're like, yeah, it was amazing. And they couldn't, they're like, you're all Type 1? We're like, yeah. I was just diagnosed like a year ago. And she points at him, and then she points at us, and she's like, see, you could do anything. And that was one of the best moments. Because that's what we're there for, right? Is to prove that we can do anything. And that was like a really good example for the son. And that is what I'll remember.
Described how lonely she felt and how weird she felt and how isolated she had been her entire life. And I was the first person with diabetes that she'd ever met before.
I'm really proud of you. Looking at you guys, you really inspire me. So let me just raise my glasses.
Type 1 diabetes is already really challenging to live with. I've been living with it now for 13 years almost. The thing I loved hearing today from some of our amazing riders was that they were told no a lot of times, and they were told that this was not smart, it was impossible, which is, I think, in a lot of ways kind of parallel to the way a lot of young and inspiring diabetics that I've met take on their biggest challenges. And I think it's something about being told that you can't do something that always makes you want to go do it a little bit more. Just really humbling, to see so many amazing people in one place who have really been such a huge support system for each other and for so many people across the country on this really incredible ride.
Now, there's only one thing left to do. Finish what they started in New York City. One last time, the team packs the trailer.
My wife and I have a 2-year-old, so he's at that point where you need help as a parent. I might not have my family, but at least they're helping me to help these other people as well, to make a big community. And that's why I did this, is diabetes, you need a community, and for anything else, and it's good to have that community aspect.
So you still got to inject, even though it's the last in the bike ride.
It was absolutely worth it. Every moment that we met someone with diabetes and they looked at us and said, I want to do this when I grow up, or thank you, you guys are so inspirational. Every painful moment was worth it to hear that.
I think the hardest thing about this trip mentally has been having the option of getting into the van. Because, if that option wasn't there, would I be able to keep riding? Yeah, absolutely. Our physical limits are a lot higher than we even realize they are. It's pretty easy to talk to type 1 diabetics and to talk to type 1 diabetic parents, to talk to type 1 diabetic siblings. It's really hard to talk to people who have no clue about type 1 diabetes. And we got out and we did that this summer, and that's gonna make a real impact. I have beautiful family and friends, but now this diabetic family, this Bike Beyond family, they're literally people that get it. To be understood for the first time in your life when you're 26, it's pretty remarkable because I didn't even know that I was missing it.
To get genuine love and affection, I'd kind of forgotten what that was like. And to get it every day from not just my teammates, but their families and their friends. The more I ride, the more I realize it wasn't about the miles. So the fact that they persisted through it, they had the willpower and the determination.
And showing them that there is a bigger, broader community out there, that they're not alone in whatever small town America that they live in.
We biked here. We biked across the country was when we entered California, like our last state, because before that it was kind of like, oh, new state, new state, new state. And you enter California, you're like, we're here.
2 years ago, I was nearly dead. And Ryan knows this. The interview in New York, where Neil asked me, what would you say to that doctor who said you can never play sports again? And I just said it. See you in San Francisco. I had no idea if I could cycle. Will this team stay together? Or what will happen? But I said it. And when I was sat on that plane coming to New York City, I was alone. And tomorrow when I sit on that plane, I don't think that's going to be the case.
There is only one place they want to be, only one thing that matters: dipping their tires in the Pacific Ocean.
There it is.
They said it was impossible, that people with type 1 diabetes shouldn't do this ride, that they couldn't do this ride, that they were crazy for trying, that Beyond Type 1 was incredibly naive to even agree to do this. And who did we think we were?
Clicked for me that being on a bike doesn't matter for what we're doing. I came out here to ride my bike, but then it's it's so much bigger than that.
Feel hungry for life again, and I think I'd lost that hunger through my diagnosis in the last year and a half.
At the beginning, I said that we were going to build a family along the way, and I don't know how I'm going to live without these 18 other people.
Capable of a whole lot. Capable of unimaginable things that are quite literally possible.
To go to those small towns in America, like the ones that I grew up in, and meet those people who are the only diabetic in their entire town.
Despite the physical and emotional toll, the blood sugar challenges, the flat tires and scrapes, they pick themselves and each other back up.
each one of you, like there's a part of you inside of me, and I really love all you guys.
I love you guys, my besties.
This is just the beginning. I don't think dipping wheels in the Pacific was the end of anything.
One team, one family.
Jesse can't be there, Eddie can't be there.
Me and Helen, we're in the van today, and we are on the ferry right now, crossing the Ohio River with an awesome crew.
We're riding on this super terrible road, and it literally broke the entire GoPro mount off my bike. This is what it looks like now, and it cannot be, I can't put this back on.
Oh, Jordan Jetson.
That arch, that's Helen's. And that arch, and there's Sid.
I don't know if you can read that, but it says 9%. 9%. We were on that, climbing up on our bicycles, and we killed it.
Hi, I'm Jesse, and I have type 1 diabetes.
This is a group hug because Megan's having a hard day. Sorry, we're all flashing helmets. Hugs are kind of hard when you have helmets on.
Just chilling here on the side of this lovely highway.
Majestic.
Waiting for a van pickup.
Majestic, eh, mate?
Super cool overpass.
Nice bridge. And then we were here debating like what to do, trying to
figure out where the rain was going to come from.
Yeah.
And then not a minute later, boom, it started raining.
Well, we left the hotel, and within about half a second, we heard some clicking on my bike, so we were looking around, and we pulled over and realized that one of the pins from a team member that team member will go unnamed.
Not me.
One of her cool cycling pins from her bag had fallen off in the lobby, and my tire grabbed it.
Hey GoPro, hey GoPro, hey GoPro, hey GoPro, okay GoPro, hey GoPro, hey GoPro, okay GoPro, hey GoPro, okay hey GoPro, hey GoPro.
Good timing.
Yeah, we haven't showered in a long time, so we haven't showered in a long time. There's a tractor passing me. So.
Jesse, what's going on? How bad?
Let him go. All the ones trying to get through the door. I don't know where they all could go. Up above. I know we can get high.
Keep on climbing